Have you ever imagined a real world, filled with giants and monsters, stuff straight out of a storybook? Well, guess what? That world was real. It actually existed. So let's dive in and become fossil hunters ourselves and uncover the story of these animals that time forgot and the amazing clues they left behind for us. Okay, picture this. Millions and millions of years ago, way before any people were even a thought, incredible animals walked the earth. We're talking about the towering Tyrannosaurus rex, the giant fuzzy woolly mammoth. I mean, these guys were the absolute kings of their world. But take a look around today. You're not going to see one strolling down the street, right? So the big question is, where did they all go?
Well, the answer is in one single powerful word: extinct. And yeah, that word sounds pretty final, because for these incredible animals, it really was the end.
So what does extinct really mean? It's pretty simple, but also kind of mind-blowing. It means a type of animal is completely gone, vanished. Every single one of them is no longer living. We're talking zero, none, not a single one left on the entire planet.
And it's not just the big dinosaurs we always think about. The list of vanished giants is huge. Of course, you've got the fearsome T-Rex, the huge woolly mammoth, but also the kind of goofy dodo bird, and even these really cool ancient sea creatures with spiral shells called ammonites. They've all disappeared from our planet's past.
Okay, so this leads to a really interesting puzzle, right? If they're all gone, and no person ever actually saw one alive, then how in the world do we know they were even here? How can we be so sure about all these amazing creatures? It's a great question.
The answer is, they left clues behind. It's like a giant planet-wide treasure hunt. This treasure was hidden for millions of years, locked away deep inside solid rock. And these amazing clues, we call them fossils.
So what is a fossil exactly? Think of it like this. It's basically what's left over from a plant or an animal that lived a super long time ago. It's a real physical piece of evidence, a clue to a life that disappeared ages ago.
And here's something really cool to remember. When we say fossil, most people just think of giant dinosaur bones, right? But it's so much more than that. A fossil could be a footprint that an animal left in the mud, which then hardened into rock. Or it could be the imprint of a shell or a plant like a fern. And yeah, of course, it can be bones that have literally turned into stone over time. Each one is like a little snapshot from the ancient world.
All right, so here's the million-dollar question. Or maybe I should say the million-year question. How does a living thing, like a huge T-Rex or even a tiny little seashell, actually turn into a piece of rock? It's not magic, but it's kind of like nature has this secret, super slow recipe.
So let's break down that recipe. First up, an animal dies. And the key thing is it gets buried really fast by mud or sand. That protects it. Then, step 2, all the soft, squishy parts, like skin and muscles, they rot away. What's left? The hard parts, like bones and shells. Now for the really slow part. Step 3. Over ages and ages, minerals from the ground seep into everything. And the whole thing, the mud, the sand, the bones, it all slowly turns to solid rock. And finally, millions of years later, wind and water, that's what we call erosion, gradually wear away the layers of rock on top, and boom, the fossil is finally revealed for someone like us to find.
And I just have to say again, this process is not fast. We're talking about a recipe that takes millions of years to cook. It's actually amazing that it happens at all. For a fossil to form and then survive all that time, for us to find it, that's an incredibly rare and special thing.
Okay, so we find these incredible clues made of rock. That's awesome. But how do we go from looking at a hard fossil to figuring out what a dinosaur was really like when it was alive? Well, this is where the real detective work begins.
The scientists who study fossils, they're called paleontologists, are basically detectives for the past. Their #1 tool? Comparison. They'll find a fossil, like a sharp T-Rex tooth, and they'll compare it to the teeth of animals we have around today, like a tiger or a crocodile. By seeing what's similar, they can make a really good guess about what that T-Rex ate.
And it's all about piecing the puzzle together. By studying all these different clues, scientists can build this incredible picture of what these animals were like. They put skeletons back together to figure out how they looked. They look at those teeth to understand their diet. They even study the bones and footprints to learn how they moved. Did they stop around on 2 legs? Did they swim? Did they fly? But as amazing as these clues from the past are, they don't tell us the whole story. Not even close. There are still some huge mysteries out there, some big questions that fossils, well, they just can't answer for us.
Like for instance, fossils can't tell us what color these animals were. Was a T-Rex green, like a lizard? or brown to blend in, or maybe it had bright purple polka dots. The truth is, we just don't know. And another thing, we have no idea what they sounded like. We'll probably never ever know what a real T-Rex roar actually sounded like. Isn't that wild?
And you know what? That's where the science stops and our imagination gets to take over. All these unsolved mysteries, they're like a playground for our own creativity. So I'll just leave you with this thought. Since the fossils can't give us all the answers, what do you imagine these incredible lost creatures were really like?